So a very good evening to you and a warm welcome to this week's edition of Breeding to Win. We start off tonight's show with some very interesting news. On Tuesday, Cape Thoroughbred Sales announced that they will be holding a ready-to-run sale in Johannesburg in November this year, while Bloodstock South Africa announced that Summerhill Stud withdrew their draft from the Empress Palace ready-to-run sale.
In the Lanzarote ready-to-run stakes presented by CTS, Redway gets given his head and he comes forward and takes up the running. Captain America's on the chase. Back along the inside, Accelero. The riders towards the inside. Redway's got a race on his hands. Has Captain America crawled alongside of him? Captain America, Redway. Captain America, Redway. It's Captain America climbing up. Captain America beats Redway on the line.
Well, the Lanzarote Ready-to-Run Stakes takes place on Saturday, the 22nd of November, and already there's a log of contenders for this year's event. The log is intended as a guide only and is purely based on performances thus far. Fillies will receive a 2.5 kilogram allowance, and this has been added to all raced fillies for log purposes. In our Getting to Know section on Breeding to Win this week, it is my pleasure to welcome into the studio trainer Ernie Anderson, who has been training out at the Turfentine Training Establishment for a number of years. And Ernie, great to have you on the show with us. And I know that you started your career training for yourself as an owner trainer, and then eventually, you got involved in bringing in your own owners.
Correct. It was way back in 1988, and after being an owner for 12 years and not very successful, having had 3 places, then trained for myself for 12 years. Did relatively well, we thought, with the quality of horse we had. They paid their own way, so we didn't have to dip in our pockets for too many horses. And then was invited to train in the Open, so got the Open license and carried on since then.
Absolutely. It's been very exciting, though, for, I think, a trainer that's got involved through ownership. Because you've seen both sides of it, and not just step straight into the training scene. And I think you've done remarkably well for yourself, and of course now for other owners as well.
Well, I think we've been a bit fortunate, having had some decent horses come our way. Picked up some relatively cheap horses, and really cheap ones, and they've done well. And we hope to continue, and a couple of decent owners will be okay.
Well, talking about decent horses, we have to bring up Garland because, of course, she was probably the best filly that you ever trained in your career so far. And the reason we've got you on the show is because she's the mare of Wave and Flag.
Correct. It was quite an interesting little story how it came about. From the outset, starting to train for myself, I've always had Armitage horses in the yard. Still have Armitage horses there. And anyway, it was time for a couple of replacement horses. So Trevor said, come down the farm. There's a little gelding there. Come and have a look at him. But he's really small. And I said, Trevor, look, just send him up. He'll be fine. The family's fine. He said, no, come and have a look. He really is small. So I said, right, let's head off to the farm. And there was the new farm at Forksas, where currently Trevor's late wife, Trevor's wife, sorry, and Sylvie are. And so they've been there for a short period, getting going on that farm. Capture him had arrived, and he was starting to take up stud duty there. So anyway, went down. Trevor said, look, there's a couple of fillies to have a look at. They're up in one of the big paddocks up there. And It's a very hilly farm. I don't know if you've never been there. And it looks over at Majuba, so I'll give you an idea of the hills that
Sure.
up and down and all over the place. So there's one big paddock. There's quite a few fillies up there. Go and have a look around there, see what you can find. See you down here later. Anyway, off up to the farm, up to this big paddock. Got in, opened the gate at the bottom, and there was one filly standing on her own, a chestnut filly. Anyway, had a look at her, gave her a little pat and that, quite liked her. Way up on the other side, paddock, a group of 4 of them, trudged up there. Got up to there, having a look at them. While I was busy looking at them, felt a little nuzzle on the neck here, and turned around, it was the chestnut filly. She'd followed me all the way up. Anyway, finished looking at those. The next stop we were way up on the slope of the hill. Thought, go up and have a look at them, all the way up the hill. Had a look at those ones, standing there, having a look. Again, bump, another little nuzzle there. Chestnut filly.
Trying to tell you something.
Tell me something. Anyway, all the way back down the hill to the gate, all the way down, stopped at the gate, turned around, of course, who was behind me?
Yeah, the chestnut filly.
So anyway, I had a look at her, liked her, picked another filly up there. Went back down, had some lunch. I said, now let me show you the little guy. Little horse called Flagstone. He was an allied flag out of a very small golden thatch mare. And he was small. When he retired as a 7-year-old, he measured 14.3.
Sure.
We
Could have made it as a polo
He
pony.
would have made it polo. But it's definitely made it, well, polo pony and junior jumper. Anyway, he won 4, a class record at the Vaal, over the mile, straight mile, lots of umpteen places. Lovely little horse to train. So I had a look at him, I said, no, I'll take him. And I said, anyway, who's the chestnut filly in the paddock? He followed me all the way around the whole lot. So he said, that's Flower Show. See, by sharp romance out of a mare called Full Flower is by Dancing Champ. So I thought, well, the Dancing Champ, but that I can go with anyway. So anyway, I said, Trevor, could I take her as well as Flagstone? He said, no problem, take them. So anyway, off to the house, a couple of drinks and that, and came back and said, come up to the one paddock and show you some more. So anyway, up to the paddock and 4 yearlings, fillies standing looking over the fence. So the one second from the left, that'll come to you next year, the half sister to
Flower
Flower
Show.
Show. Said she'll be coming to you next year. And that was Garland.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So what actually happened, the way the system worked at Trevor in those days, if you leased a horse, you automatically had first call on whatever progeny that mare produced after that. So you automatically went line for the next one. So having taken Flower Show, I got Garland. So that was
Sure.
quite good. And
So
Flower Show won 2, and Garland, well, we won 5 with her, including the Yellowwood.
And she was placed on a couple of occasions as well. I mean, she was
Garland?
placed, yes,
Oh,
she was
yes.
placed 7 times.
Yeah, she ran second first time out, hit the front, didn't know what to do. Second time we put in the 1200, was the new 1200 inside her turpentine. She won by 5.5 in her class record. And she was so easy to train. And the night of the Yellowwood, I flew really up from PE to come ride her.
Willie Ace.
Yeah, to come ride her. He was, basically, Garland was ridden between Willie and Anthony Delpish. They were the two who rode the horse. And flew Willie up and said, we got a tough call here, boy. This collection of what we got here, probably the best 1,800, 2,000 metre fillies and mares that were up in the Highveld at the time. Give you an idea in the field, Jamaica, Rainbow Flag, RCA, Night Diva, Escalator Fitz, Jeff Woodruff had 2 imports in there. She was in there. When I saw she in there, I thought, well, good, we got the pace on because she used to take off. I was happy about that. I said, really, fillies well, man. We really got her well, you know, and she should run a big one. And incidentally, that was the first time she raced under lights. She'd never been under the lights before. And hopped out, came off from the back, and she just threw the field and she won, going away.
Unbelievable.
John Slade from Main Chance was always after her, and ended up, Trevor sold her to John. John had her down Main Chance. She's had a couple of other ones. There's a filly called Jamboree down with Howells down in Natal. She's quite nice. Another colt. And the first one, of course, I bought for an ex-owner of mine called Kudos. He was a Magog. And she went to Magog because of the horse sickness, couldn't go down straight down to the Cape. So she went, covered Magog, and then she ended up going down to the Cape. By then, well, John had obviously owned her. And he's always said, I'll get you another filly off the farm. I'll get you another filly off the farm. And this year's 2L sale, I've got a lovely Karani filly from him to train. So I want her back.
So you've kept her in the family.
Kept in, well. Yeah.
But just chatting about Garland, because I mean, she was a beautiful mare. She only raced, she raced quite a few times in her career. She bumped top quality horses the majority of the times. I know.
All the time.
Yeah, you know, I know she bumped Jamaica, as you pointed out, and she beat Jamaica twice.
Twice.
But the likes of Night Diva, ICA, you know,
Escalita Fitz, these were good horses.
They were top horses.
These were very good horses,
in that season. And I mean, when you look at ICA, who finished second or third in the J&B Met, Jamaica went on to win some top races as well, and she's in her own right is a top mare as well, Jamaica. So it's a huge feather in your cap for just a small trainer, Ernie.
Yeah, and a little girl from down the road in Falkshurst. You know, it's quite good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Also, what's quite interesting about Wave and Flag now, because he has just won the Gold Cup, he's been placed in a grade 2, which was the Gold Vase. He finished second. And then he finished third in a grade 3 as well. But he's got the stamina, and obviously that's possibly come through the Sylvanas side.
I would think so, but Garland, you know, she was effective 18. I think she would have got a 2,000 quite easy. She was very effective 16, 18. Good. We never pushed her beyond that. I think she would have got there. Her half-sister, Flauscher, we won a 2,000 and a 2,4 with her.
So there was stamina in the mare side.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What's also interesting is the sire of Garland, who was by Capture Him.
Correct.
Or she was by Capture Him. Capture Him's also the sire of Sun Coast, who in fact is the mare of our champion, Beach Beauty.
Correct, yeah. And Trevor bred Beach Beauty as well, also from the farm. Capture Him, interesting horse. He's a Mr. Prospector, was late horse now. Mr. Prospector. He was owned by Robert Sangster. He was trained by John Gosden in England. 1-5, came out here, stood at Highlands. And I think the problem is, if I remember correctly, the first lot of foals I think he produced, they all turned a bit. And I think Graham Beck decided not commercial this boy. And he basically wasn't used much. And we're speaking to Trevor later on, and he was always looking for a Mr. Prospector. And I said, I'm sure that horse is still around, find out. So he did, and he ended up Capture Him on lease. So he was a lease stallion up at the farm. And he produced his pretty good mares. And if you look at his pedigree, he should produce good brood mares. He ought to.
You know, well, that's what's also interesting about broodmare stallions. A lot of the times they don't actually make it as stallions, but they produce top quality broodmares.
Often, yeah.
Unbelievable. Now tell us just a little bit about the present and how many horses you got in training.
Scaled down to the 24 box yard. We had big numbers before, but anyway, we cut it down to 24, and I'm trying to get just quality horses in, or decent horses. Got a few nice ones in there. From Dr. Ian Haynes, I've got a very nice elusive Fort filly. She'd had a one and only start, ran 4th, green, wide, everything. I think she's going to be pretty good.
He seems to be stamping them, elusive Fort.
He is, and I think they're nice horses. He should make it. I mean, if you look at his female line, it's got to be one of the best female lines that we have in our stud book by a long shot. He's a Fort Wood. He was a good racehorse, a good-looking horse, and I'm really thrilled with this one. And I think she'll be okay. We've got a couple of other fillies in the wings there, which we're hoping to pull out shortly. And a nice little colt we've run. He's a Escaproval colt. Arrived there a year back, tiny little guy, and we just gave him the time that he needed. And I think he's going to be quite a nice little horse too.
I've noticed you as a trainer don't really push your horses early, and they tend to train on until they're about 6-7 year olds.
Exactly. I've never believed in hammering a 2-year-old. Over the years, you just have to look at the record book. So many good horses are ruined as 2-year-olds, really. Many years back, France tried to outlaw the racing of 2-year-olds. They get hammered. They're nowhere near ready. You know, you get horses and you look at people, they say, oh, this will win next week. And you go and look at it and you think, that should be running on a paddock. You know, it shouldn't even be doing anything, really. And we've had horses competitive. Our old girl, New Light, I mean, she's now 8, also from Trevor. She's as tough as teak. I think our old girl will pick up another one before she stops. And she's as gutsy as anything. Not much in her pedigree, no beauty, that one.
But she's consistent.
Very consistent.
And like you said, she'll pick up another one soon. I think she just got to crack a good draw.
We just need a draw. That's all we need. That's all we really need is a draw, and we'll be there, yeah.
Well, Ernie, thank you very much for the time that you've taken out, and we wish you all the best with your career. I know that Grant Knowles was very keen on me interviewing you because he's got a very soft spot for, of course, Wave and Flag, which being his first Group 1 winner, and, of course, just a little bit of a blast from the past, because you kind of forget all these mares that have done so well in the past on our tracks, that have now gone on to be top-class broodmares, and they're producing the Grade 1 winners.
Exactly. The only time you remember them is when a good Grade 1
Yes.
hops up and you think, oh, I remember her, and in the meantime, average horse, you just don't remember her.
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations to you for everything that you've done in the past, and we wish you all the best for the future.
Good. Thank you very much. Pleasure being here.
Thank you. Well, we'll be taking a short break. Join us in a few minutes for more Breeding to Win.
We believe in excellence. We believe that if you're going to do something, you do it to your best ability. We aim to make Balmoral #1 in the Southern Hemisphere, not just South Africa.
New Turf Carriers is a family-run business owned by Mark and Dory Sham and their 3 sons, Michael, Matthew and Marcus. New Turf Carriers has been in long-distance transport since 1995 and pride themselves in excellent service, punctuality and loyalty to their clients. Every single stud farm and every single sale to every single racecourse, New Turf Carriers pride themselves in delivering your horse safely. The welfare of your horse is paramount, and it is to this end that we have our own midway stop between Johannesburg and Cape Town. This is situated at Colesberg, where we have a stabling facility for 60 horses, so that the horses on long trips can get off and have a rest during their journey. The bottom line is, New Turf Carriers take your horse from door to door with pride, passion and punctuality.
He is the leading international sire in South Africa and was the leading sire of 3-year-olds in 2014 with the most number of winners. Let's take a look at Trippy, the stallion profile.
But Franny's still clear out here, and Franny is going to win.
For the lads erupting through, and for the lads won it. Africa Burn over the top. Africa Burn got them all.
But Hamizuka's going to win. Hamizuka to win it well.
Trippy is the leading international sire at stud in South Africa. As at August 2014, he has the winners of 1,733 races on 4 continents and 89 stakes winners, including 10 Grade 1 horses. His progeny have amassed over $42 million, and they include multi-million-dollar earners Ashen Wiesen, who has earned the equivalent of 19 million rand, and Gourmet Dinner, who has earned 12 million rand. He also has the millionaire filly Hummies Hooker as one of South Africa's top female competitors.
Behind that one, maybe yes, but Hamizuka goes on by past the 200-meter marker, and Hamizuka, Jetaglo's trying to come back for more, but Hamizuka's going to win. Hamizuka to win it well.
His South Africa Grade 1 winners include For the Lads, who won the Grade 1 Golden Slipper on July Day last year.
Happy Valentine's digging down the last bit, but she gets weary, and Masked Lady's running on. For the lads are Setri Ping. Masked Lady for the lads erupting through, and For the Lads won it. Along came Potty
And
Fleur.
Africa Burn, who won the Grade 1 Golden Horseshoe as further testimony that he gets top performers from both sexes.
One Fine Day's running on nicely down the centre. Africa Burns also looking to lift the last 150. It's wide open. Angel explodes through. Harry Sun, One Fine Day. Africa Burn over the top. Africa Burn got them all. One Fine Day.
Trippy is the sire of 2 international champions, and he was crowned champion sire in his native Florida prior to coming to South Africa. He became champion first season sire in South Africa, breaking Captain Al and Jetmaster's record number of 2-year-old stakes winners, and he is one of the top 5 sires at stud in South Africa. Trippy was the leading sire of 3-year-olds in South Africa in 2014, with the highest number of winners, and the most 3-year-old races won, and he had the highest percentage of 3-year-old winners of all active sires. Trippy's progeny are tough, and they train on. He still has 8-year-olds and even 9-year-old winners overseas. Trippy is the property of a syndicate and stands at Drakensberg Stud and is managed by Freeman Stallions.
Allen Bloodlines has provided stallions in South Africa and throughout the world. David Allen manages several of those stallions, including Elusive Fort, who has had a superb start to his stud career, including first crop winners, places and feature places.
Elusive Fort's very fast start at stud mirrors the characteristic that defines him: speed at the highest level. Whilst being justifiably awarded the accolade of Equus Champion Stayer after becoming a classic winner, Elusive Fort has shown that speed element by himself on the racecourse and through his first runners in the 2013-14 season. It was not before, but after his Derby win that Elusive Fort won a Grade 2 at 1400 metres, then the Grade 1 Horse Chestnut Stakes at a mile.
Elusive Fort is coming home on the far side of the track. It's open. Elusive Fort is powering his way home on the very far side. And Elusive Fort's come home best of all. Elusive Fort, the leader. Emperor Napoleon's moved up to him on the stand side. Biarritz is racing there between them. National Spirits further back, then Fork Lightning. Elusive Fort's in front. The younger horses are coming at him now. Biarritz and Emperor Napoleon. But here's Elusive Fort just in front, and his message is have respect. Elusive Fort's won it.
In all, this versatile son of Fort Wood won 7 races, 5 of them stakes races, and 3 of those at Grade 1 level. In the hope of emulating another son of Fort Wood, the now great stallion dynasty, an excellent team of breeders has come together with syndicate principal Peter de Beer to support and drive Elusive Fort forward in his career as an exciting and now emergent young stallion. Elusive Fort's membership of the superb E family of Empress Club and many others adds to his credentials for success. Our syndicate spirits are high after the stallion ranked in 2013-14 in the top 2 first season sires percentage winners to runners and was represented by speedy and scopy juveniles such as the winner and stakes placed Elusive Stars.
And also kicking on well is Elusive Stars from the back of the field, and Elusive Stars is charging home. Elusive Stars blows them all away. Down the inside, Black Crow might have just got up for second.
And the impressive 6-length winner, Red Star.
300 metres to go, and Red Star's coming up to Gold Cup Girl, and Red Star has started to move in swiftly now, and Red Star, it's all over. And here is Red Star here to Gold Cup Girl. It wins as it wants to.
These two, and several other winning and placing 2-year-olds, arguably earlier than we had expected, have shareholders lining up to send their mares to Elusive Fort's distinguished home at Klipdrift Stud in Robertson.
And Siren's Call and Pierce Stratham hit the front, and that's it. Race over. Siren's Call will run away to a convincing win here. Looked extremely well, won it by 5.
Elusive Wave is starting to come home nicely. Comanche has picked it up. Elusive Wave up towards the outside is coming at her strongly. Comanche and Elusive Wave, these two left to fight it out. It's Elusive Wave who's claimed the advantage. Comanche trying to come back, but Elusive Wave goes on to win it from Comanche.
Downside, it's Grapevine and Milton that starts to move into contention. Olympic Airways along the inside. Next we find Buffalo Trip. We're into the final 100. 3 of them, Grapevine, Milton, Olympic Airways along the inside. Any one of 3 diving for the wire. Grapevine on the line, got it.
Benny Murray has the horse looking magnificent in advance of a busy season, and it is Benny, or me, David Allen, that breeders should contact to take advantage of the live foal fee of only 10,000 Rand plus VAT. On behalf of the Elusive Fort Syndicate and of Klipdrift Stud, thank you for your attention.
Second or no. So number 14, All Is Secret, is victorious. Well Witcher.
And for the lads, won it.
Shay takes the lead. Shay wins the Elgos.
Well, last week, Vicky Manott was out and about at Kenilworth Racecourse and bumped into Carice Teeton before his return to Hong Kong for the new season.
Carice, tell us a little bit about where you sat on the log last season in Hong Kong.
Yeah, Vicky, I finished 4th on the log with 50 winners. I was there for 6 months, and so that's half a season. And in my 6th month, I had 12 meeting suspension. So take that out, it's around nearly a month and a week suspended. So, and then the rest of the 6 months. So almost 11 months, yes. I did not expect it to go that well, but you know, end of the day, we all know you put the hard work, it pays off. So it did pay off for me, and I had a great season. I had Group 2 winners, I had Group 3 winners. I think my 2 Group 2 winners was my biggest win. I've ride some really good horses there. I've ride that horse, Able Friend. He ran second behind Variety Club. He's a very smart horse, and I really rode some really nice horse there. My racing career in South Africa helped me a lot because I did participate in some really big races here. So I got use of how to handle some big pressure. So once I got there, it did not affect me much. The pace is completely different there. We go really fast there. One good thing there, all the horses come out the gate running. So, and then the guys that's in front, they don't ease up or anything. We just keep going the same pace. It's totally different if someone go in front there and you try go slow. automatically there will be someone challenging you. It's completely different, and the course is not the same also.
And to do with the competitiveness, do all the jockeys ride there like it's the July or the Jambi Met, like huge feature races?
Yes, Vicky. It could be a class 5, it could be a class 1, a group 1. Every race is competition and hard. Every race is very hard there. When you just go back, after racing, I'll go back to my apartment and just look at racing and just look at Douglas White ride 4 winners in a day, and look Zach Burton and Joe Moreira ride 4 winners in a day. It's always good to just go and see what they're doing, and you can just pick up all the small detail what they're doing. They'll be like sitting long and there's no panic, there's nothing. Even if they don't have a run, it's small stuff. You know, and then the next time I'll ride, I'll try something like that out and I see it really works. So, you know, just not even riding with them, but looking at their racing video, it did help me a lot. You are around them mostly, so we ride work together, you know, racing together. So, and even off, like when we finish work, in the afternoon, we all sometimes chill together. So it's always around them, so you learn every day, you'll pick up something smaller about them, you know, so it does help end of the day.
Is there a huge difference in the racing rules there compared to here?
Yes, it's very strict, very, very strict. The steward doesn't give you a second warning there. They're very, very strict in a race, even with your discipline. I think that is very good, you know, because like racing there, it's very hard, very competitive, but you know, I got 12 meetings suspended, but firstly, when I first got my 6th meeting, I was like, this is a little bit hard, you know, it's a small thing, but when you realize, you know, end of the day, it was someone else's life in danger. Yeah. So the steward actually was right to give me the penalty, but then my final 6 months, I was so clean. I did not get to call in, or I got called in, but I was never suspended my last 6 months. So it did make me stronger, make me think what I was doing. So I think it helped me a lot there with their strict rules. I must say I'm much neater rider than what I was before. I promise you, you ran second show there on a horse, don't think next time you'll have a chance on it, because you got no chance. The other jockey will be riding it. So you can't make any mistake. You got to be very sharp, and all the decision you're making in a race must be 100% right. You know, sometimes you're still trotting back, but your rides are gone. They will be telling you when you come back, don't worry, someone else will be riding you next time. So you got to know how to keep a good relationship with your trainer and your owner especially. It took me a while to get used of the trainers and the owners and stuff, but you know, it's very important there for you to be good friend with the owner. So they got the power to actually put you on horses. So you need to be very clever. You need to know how to speak to people. You need to be clever when the entry come out. You need to start doing form. You actually have to go through the horses and just phone the trainer and say, you know, this horse, maybe we can put him in different race, and you must be very, very clever on what you're doing. You know, it took me a while to get use of it, but I have to say thanks to Weishong. He taught me a lot. You know, I was like his best friend when I got there, so he gave me all the small detail, and he did help me a lot. He said to me what I must do, and you know, it helped me a lot. You know, like jockeys like Greg Sheen, Felix Coetzee, Delpeche, they all gave me those advice, and Richard, and you know, I tried it and it worked. So they had experience, so it does help when you have South African people helping you.
Did you ever think, when you're a little kid going to racing with your father, that you'd ever get this far?
I did not dream about it. I dreamed that I want to be a jockey and I want to, you know, ride horses. But when I really wanted to go overseas and being an international jockey was, we were in our first year. I don't know if you were there, if you remember, because you were with us. So yes. They took us in next to the office. There was like a Equisaza room, so they took us all there, and they showed us a video of Felix winning on that big horse, Silent Witness, in Hong Kong. Then I set my goal. I said I want to be an international jockey. So thanks God, I'm really blessed. It pays off, and I hope it continue.
We wish you all the best for the up-and-coming Hong Kong season, and we hope that you are as successful, if not more successful, than you were last season.
Yeah, thanks, Vicky. I just want to say thanks to everyone here. Everyone in South Africa, whoever helped me, and I really appreciate it. All the help that I've got from everyone. I know I'm not South African, but I am Mauritian. I am half South African. So,
we'll claim you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I just want to say thank you very much to everyone. You know, you all have been good to me and helped me a lot. I really appreciate it.
Emerald Cup, Africa's richest horse race on sand. The 27th of September features Lone Hill Estate, Daniel Barron, Matthew Mole, Loy Chele, DJ Van Dazel, and super entertainment for the whole family. Great picnic site packages, hospitality, accommodation. The choice is yours. Call 011 681 1702 and don't miss out on the greatest horse race on sand. Bounded away from them.
And very well done to Sean and to Chris. I think they've got a bit of a horse in their hands.
Peregrine on the far inside, but Pomodora, and Pomodora stays on the better one well today.
He is really a nice horse to ride.
Pomodora in the middle's picked it up in the closing stages, and Pomodora has raced away and has won it well.
He just stamped himself as a top 3-year-old in the country.
Manji and Pomodora, here comes the line, very close, maybe Manji in a photo.
And I'm excited for Pomodora to get to stud, and I'm excited for him to start producing. It's just a whole new adventure and a whole new start, and believe you me, when Chris and I see them in the ring, we will put our head down.
Gavel House is the leading website for trading horses online. Selling your racehorse, mare or even a share in a yearling is so easy on Gavel House. You can browse our sires directory to match the best mating for your mare, with text description, videos and up-to-date sires reports. Gavelhouse.com is the best way to sell your horse. We reach places others can't, where buyers and sellers deal direct and pay no commission. Go to gavelhouse.com.
Well, the two horses being offered by Gavel House this evening are both horses in training. The first is the West is Wide, who's a 2009 gelding by Western Winter out of the mare Poppy. He's a triple stakes winner. The price is on application. And of course, he's trained by Vaughan Marshall. He's a winner of his last start by 2 1/4 lengths. And if you're interested, contact Derek Brugman. The other horse in training is Witchery by Jutpot out of the mare Wangari. She's a 2011 filly for 150,000 Rand. She's likely race stakes performer. Contact Murray Crocker in the Western Cape. Well, that's a wrap for this week's edition of Breeding to Win. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to join us next week for some more Breeding to Win. From myself, Julie Alexander, and the rest of the Breeding to Win team, good night.